going to do my best to go through this in 10 minutes or less, but it is very important information, so I do ask for as much of your attention as you can give me. Like I said, we're so pumped for our students. I'm going to go through just a handful of things here, starting with the most important piece of the night, which is that we are here, though this is a math competition, we are here for our students to have a good time and have fun. We are proud of them and their hard work, but the number one focus tonight is for our students to feel their accomplishment, because the fact that they are here shows that they are ready to represent their school, whether they're in a first seat position or they're an alternate. It means your school trusts you and is excited to have you representing them. So that's the thing we will remember going through the whole night here. We know we have trophies, we know we have medals, but at the end of the day, it's about our students knowing that they are having an impact and representing their school. With that said, with anything fun, there has to be some rules to go with it. And so we are going to be following, and your students have been practicing this over the last several weeks, but we are going to just go quickly over the rules and expectations that will be going on at the tables. So just a handful of them here. The first is, at each table there is a player mat. There's a spot in each corner where students are asked to keep their hand at all times, except when they are claiming a card. When they want to claim a card, they can do so, boys and girls hold this up with me, with one finger, two fingers, or three. That's it. If you put your whole hand out, 4 fingers or all 5 fingers, you are going to receive a penalty flag. We'll go over that in just a minute here. But 1, 2, or 3 fingers to claim a card. Next up, we have that proctors will be the ones who decide who touched the card first. And their word is final. We want to keep the game moving, so we're not going to argue about that, proctors. What you see is what we've got. Students, and we're going to make sure we respect that. It'll keep the game rolling. To answer a card, and this is probably the most important thing I'll go over here rule-wise tonight. Students will tap the card, the proctor will call on them, and at that point, you will have 3 seconds to identify your final equation. So you may tap the card and go 3 times 8, and then you can go and explain the steps of how you got to 3 times 8, or you can say 3 times 8 is 24, or you can say 3 times 8 equals 24, or you can say 24, 3 times 8. There's multiple ways, but the most important thing is to claim a card, and to begin to answer, you must identify your final equation. And then you have the remainder of those 15 seconds to go through and identify the steps. So you might say 5 plus 3 is 8, 4 minus 1 is 3, 8 times 3 is? 24! There we go, a little bit of interaction here. All right, that's the only major change that we've made from last year, but that does follow the tournament rules, so we are going to go with that. And, boys and girls, as you were going through, you have to stick to whatever that final equation is. If you say 3 times 8, you can't get to the end and say 4 times 6. It has to be the same. Okay? Now, what happens if we don't follow a rule? You will get a post-it note or a penalty flag from your proctor. The ways that you can get that is if you do not answer with the final pattern within 3 seconds, or if you do not complete your answer within the full 15 seconds, or if the answer given is incorrect, if the card is tapped with more than how many fingers? More than 3, very good. And if you touch the proctor's hand